Alex Haley, if you don't know him, he's the author of the book Roots. Maybe good generation or something, big generation, but we saw the movie Roots, which is about the African American slave story. So he's pretty famous. Hung inside his office is a poster, or is a portrait. It's a portrait of a turtle sitting on top of a fence post. So many of you, we live here in the Central Valleys, we see fence posts all the time. And as all of you know, why or how can a turtle be on top of a fence post? And so they asked him, why do you have that portrait in your office? And he says, it is there to remind me that I did not get here by myself. So Jada, you are lifted on a fence post. And because you are there, we all see it and we all look in awe. But you too did not say, I got there by myself, because we all know turtles cannot climb a fence post. But today, you also said, I did not get here by myself. That is why you and your parents are going, these people helped me to get to where I'm at. And so it is it's my turn to thank them for that. And so that is why we are here today. We're celebrating the success of Jada accomplishing at the pageant in Sacramento. But then we are also honoring all of you who supported her. And so thank you for that. And each time we get to speak, or at least I get to speak, I have to thank my wife and appreciate her for always supporting me, whether she's out with me or not, that she supports me and allows me to serve not just in my office with the City of Clovis, but also with our Hmong community. I also thank my kids. They don't come out with me that often, but because tomorrow's a holiday, then we said they can come out and enjoy Hmong community and also Hmong food, and to meet all of you young people together. Thank you for all the family, guests, and sponsors. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to be with us today. And I want one thing to say about when you look out at an audience like this, Jada. Be who you are, whether it is with one person or if this room is packed like sardines. Never change what you are and who you are and your intent and what you give. Because sometimes the room will be full. And at other times, only special people get to hear and see what you have to give them. So always take it that way. It is a blessing for them to be here. Thank you to all the sponsors, whether you gave financially, whether you gave emotionally, whether you gave spiritually, meaning you prayed for her or you gave her blessings, or whether you gave something verbally to say, go for it, or behind you, we are with you. Because all of that is important. It's not just about money. Because there are times in which you go to do something, you need all of those. So thank you. You see, before you are a winner, very few people will support you. Because you go and they'll look at you, and here we have a pageant. They'll go, you're not tall enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not smart enough, your Hmong is not good, whatever the reason, you may not win. But all of you said, go. Win, lose, we're behind you. But when you win, then people are like to get behind you then. So support them. Support people who come to you. And I ask the sponsors that I hope you will support many other young people who will come to you, whether it's for something academic, whether it's for the Hmong community, or whether it's for a beauty pageant. Our children are worth our support. Hmong have this saying, young people, "Nhu cu chi nhang nhu hao, nhu tư bla nhu jie chi mo." A bull's horn is not heavy to its head. A bull's tail, when it swats itself of the flies, will not hurt its body. This is true of the Hmong family. See, the bull's head is Simon and not Simon. They invest in their children. They invest in the horns. They invest money, they invest time, they invest, sweat, tears, they invest all these things. But to them, it's okay. They are my horns. Those are my children. And so that's why it's not heavy to the family unit or to the bull. Young people, Jada, your brothers and sisters, from a parent, they will swat you, right? Like when a fly gets on a bull, his tail hits it. Every time it hits itself, it is not going crying out, why am I hitting myself? So parents will say things to you as you grow up and give you things. It shouldn't hurt you because they're helping you. They're telling you, go this way, stand that way, speak this way, sit this way, go pursue this education, go pursue this effort. And sometimes it can be tough, but it doesn't hurt because they love you. Simon, Hannah, Simon, thank you so much for your example. At me bao cho me jaminyo, kapon no lu no ha, jaminyo ku ta ta trong le me no cho ku mu fon no cho tu ku ya cho nyo ho me pe mu du John Chai la, all of them. Jada la te ka ta bachelor la, ke chi ya de men lang o se na. You have set a good example. You have shown us how to support your children. I go to events, you go to more events than I do, and yet you can still support your children to excel, whether it is in the arts, whether it is in education, whether it is in community service, or in the development of good, respectful young children. You want to know how good a parent is, you look at their kids. And when you meet Simon and not Simon's kids, you know that they are well brought up, well-bred kids, Mulama. So that is a compliment to you. And so when we look at that, and when I look at that, I say, maybe you should be just teaching us, telling us what your secret is, so that when we raise our own children, we can have obedient, good, high-excelling, high-achieving children as well. Simon and them, they could be resting. They could be retired. They came from their professional jobs, and then they even, went back into farming, bringing bamboos back here to grow in the hot Central Valley, accomplishing a thing that no one thought could be accomplished, gaining media attention, making it noticeable. But what they did not just bring something to the Central Valley, something new. It gave Hmong a name, a mark in something in ag that has never been done. And so children, meaning Jada, your brothers and sisters, your parents are doing something great. They are pioneers. They are trailblazers in an effort that no one has not done. And it is something worthy of all of us to compliment and to praise them for. So what y'all? Not only that, children, you come from two strong families. Your Hug family, what I understand, is the largest Hmong Hug family. Largest. So in other words, the others don't even compare. You have leaders like me, Uncle Tsungshan here, to many others who have led our communities for years and years. Not only that, your mom's side of the family, Chemong is a large and big and very high profile family. So you're well bred, you're good kids, and that's something you need to be proud of. The Chinese have always said, if you want to eat for a year, plant rice. If you want to eat 4 or 5 years, plant fruit trees. If you want to eat forever the rest of your life, have children. They've done both. I mean, they planted rice before. They're planting bamboo now for eat for 4 or 5 years, and they have all of you, so they can eat for the rest of their lives. And how blessed they are. Jada, I think it's also appropriate to talk about you, young. You just graduated with your bachelor's, right, in health science and community health, May 2023. So congratulations, right? We have a college graduate in you. Most college graduates don't think of their community. They're thinking of themselves and they're moving forward. But yet you said, no, I like my community. I like being able to find a platform for which you can share your talents and share your passion. And we spoke earlier, you want to continue, get your master's degree, and then start a nonprofit. That shows you have a good heart, and that you have a caring heart. And so, as a pageant person, young people, many times it may not look as hard or as glorifying as it is. But let me give you some numbers, right? So she went to compete. Let's just say there are 5 states: California, Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and I would say maybe Georgia or Arkansas that may have a beauty pageant. Maybe. Okay? I know Minnesota does, maybe Wisconsin. But we'll just say, let's say they all have it. Out of those 5, let's say there's 10 contestants. There's not really 10 every time. Well, let's just say that's 10. So out of all of those, 10 contestants out of the 5 states, right? We'll just say there's 2 pageants in each of the states, so there's 10 pageants total. That's 100 girls only that are competing each year. There's not 100 girls competing. But there are 300,000 Hmong people. So there are 100 out of 300,000 who is doing this endeavor. In California, there's 3 pageants: Sacramento, Merced, and here. So you're 1 of 30. But not only that, you're a top finisher. So really, you're 1 of 9 people in California who would get the crown or get to share that glory. So that is important. You got to be able to show your skills and your talents in front of an audience. And that skill will go with you forever. Because wherever you are always performing, whether it's in a panel to try to get a job, whether it's in front of your board, whether it's in front of people, or whether it's in front of your children. You will always be speaking, and those are great skills. You met a lot of people you never knew, people who you never thought you would meet, but because you went through it, now you're meeting people. In other words, it opened so many doors that you never saw before. So today we celebrate you, and we celebrate all those who believed in you. But I know that in that journey there are those who did not believe in you. But because you made it, you also learned now you have enemies. You have people who are jealous, people who think you were not worthy. You have people who did not believe you at the beginning. All I say to you is, have a short memory. Don't remember those whom you and your parents go and ask for a sponsorship and they said no. You'll do another thing, you're going to have to go back. I have experience in that because I raise money for campaigns. So have a short memory. Move forward quickly. But what did Jada teach us? She taught us the most important trait in doing anything: courage. Some would say, no, love is more important. Patience is better, gentleness. But I say courage is above all that. For without courage, you cannot love. For without courage, you cannot be kind. For without courage, you will not take that first step to do all the other traits that we value. So you had courage. You took the step which no one did. You took a step when everyone said no. So you taught us to say yes. And you weren't afraid. Even though failure is there, enemies are waiting at the end. And losing, right, is a high possibility. And what would you do after that? Especially after you've already had your bachelor's degree. You see, and they'll go, oh, this, that. He said, no, I will go. And when you are faced with those decisions, young people, like Jada faced when she was going to go, I'm going to put my name in. You'll be at that edge of that decision, and be in front of you is like a cliff. And on that day, you will have to say, do I jump? Jada jumped because she listened to her heart and not her head. Because if she thought about it, she would go, oh, I don't get enough sponsorships. I don't have enough Hmong clothes. I don't know what to say. I don't know what talent I'm going to, give. And not only that, what if people mock me? But she felt it in her heart. She goes, I want to do this. So she jumped. And what happened? She flew. What else can happen? She could have fallen, right? And hit something hard. Or she could have fallen and hit something soft. You are faced with those decisions all the time, young people. And you will look with your eyes and go, I better not. But my hope is that you do what Jada does and say, let me feel in my heart. If it's for me to be this, I'm gonna jump. And if, say, you fall, what happens? You just get back up. You've already fallen enough. Why not try something you've never done before? See, the greatest fear was not failing. The greatest fear is not jumping at all. That you will regret the day you said, I should have, when you could have. So courage gave you that. Thank you for that example. Let me give you a couple words of encouragement as you continue this next chapter and carry out the current chapter of your life, Jada. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, okay, he's the founder of Dubai, one of the greatest cities for people to visit now. What did he say? Okay, he said, my grandfather rode a camel, my father rode a camel, I drive a Mercedes, my son drives a Land Rover, my grandson is going to drive a Land Rover, but my great-grandson is going to ride a camel. Pretty deep. It's almost the same as this saying by G. Michael Hopf. He says, hard times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Good times create weak people, and weak people create hard times. You must resolve within yourself, am I going to ride a Mercedes because my dad drives a Toyota now? Or am I going to go back and ride a bike and walk? My hope is that you make good times, because it's still difficult for Hmong people, so that we can be able to ride in Mercedes-Benzes for many more generations. So the first thing I want to say is, you're not finished yet. You're not finished yet. What you see at the finish line is not who you are today. And what you saw at the end of the pageant was not who you were when you started the pageant. You are a much better person at the end of the pageant than when you started. And same thing in this current race of life, wherever chapter you're going. You're looking at it and you don't even know. So keep going. Go strong. Keep moving forward. So don't quit. Too many people depend on you. Those little brothers and sisters, they're waiting for you. Your mom and dad, they're waiting for you. Your clan, everyone, and not only that, yourself. What did Steve Jobs say? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I know you want to go far. And you're going to take these people, your family, with you. Because then you will go very, very far. So first thing is, you're not finished yet. Keep dreaming and go for the next thing. Second, remember who you are. And with that, I want to say, remember you are Hmong. Just take out Mika out of it and just go, Hmong. So with that, learn Hmong, speak Hmong, think Hmong, be Hmong, because we need that. And a woman can take and do that in America as great as a man. And you have that opportunity. So in other words, because you're a Hmong, remember your grandparents, who they are, what they are. I saw your grandmother just last year at an event with your parents. Get to know her, pick her brain. What made her strong? What made her create your mom to be a strong woman? Go find out who are the elders in Kachemung. Who are those leaders? Get to know them, find out who they are, pick their brains, because every time or every moment, you have less time. Your parents, your grandparents, they didn't have much, but they sure worked hard to give you everything they did not have. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have a room for themselves. They didn't have 15 Hmong clothes, right? They didn't have new cars or a new home. But they worked so that you got all that. Now that you got everything they did not have, go get from them everything they did have. What are those things that they have? First, Hmong parents have strong values and hard work ethic. So go get them. What are those strong values? They cared for each other. Mom's side, dad's side, Hmong people care for each other. We may hate each other at times, but we sure care for each other quite a bit. So care for each other. Second, show up. Hmong people consider showing up very important. Especially your generation, you're not dying for money. Our generation was poor or poorer. But now they just want you to show up. So show up. Be what your mom and dad are. They show up everywhere. Whatever event, big, they're up there. Small, they're there. So show up. Be there. Third, Hmong people respect their elders. And I'll leave you with just one, young people. Whenever you're at an event, go greet the elders. Mong hu cha lo, mong to cha lo te. That's all they want. They don't have much to say with you. You probably don't have much to say with them. It's not like you're going to sit there for 10 minutes and they're going to talk about something. No. But I guarantee you, young people, and especially you now, Jada, since they know who you are, if you walk in front of an elder and did not stop to say hi, in their head, they're going, oh, nyon chai ho, tu chi na hu le, right? That's all they say. Yet, if you stop and just say, oh, ka tu hala na tai, or yezi, or lo, or lo, and then you go, you know what they say? Nyon chai ho, shi nyo de, lo, po tan lai, that's all you want. They didn't want a conversation. They're not sitting there. So, hu ya lo. Everywhere, anywhere. Because those old people talk. And they're going to go and they go, you know, I remember this and this. They didn't even say hi. They didn't even say hi. They didn't even say hi. And you want to be the one where they go, he always says hi to me. Oh, she always plu. Be that one. Because we need that. And they love that, the elders. And in 10 seconds. Okay? So, hu jalao, respect. And then Hmong family are close. Hmong families love just because the relationship, meaning